What's going on, everybody? It's Chris Classic. Going to try to drop a quick review of the overall show. For what I saw, make sure you like, subscribe to the channel, comment. I comment back. Make sure you also subscribe to the C3 Ultimate Wrestling YouTube page, and also check out the website c3ultimatewrestling.com. Okay, let's start with the pre-show. The first match was Layla Hirsch versus Chris Statlander. Now, great back and forth match. The women should be proud of the match that they did. The story that they were telling, it was very gruesome, especially with Hirsch with the MMA background. They were really showing a strong point of what she can do. The finish came when she hits Chris Statlander with the turnbuckle hook after the ref was distracted by Chris's wristband, armband thingy. Very creative. I had Layla winning going into it. I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was a good setup on even how they did it. Red Velvet came out afterwards, but I don't think they're going to do a feud because Layla's beating Red Velvet, so I don't know. So, sky's the limit for Layla. Next match, Hook versus QT Marshall. Very good match. This is the longest match Hook has had. The guy is doing a great job. Throwing him around and everything like that, reminiscent of his father, because you know his father was also most of the time the smaller guy doing it. Now it'd be more special, and it's not his fault if he was like one of the only few people doing it. The thing is, people his size or smaller, they're throwing around bigger guys already, and it's impressive and it looks nice. You know, the guy looks like he cares about the business. You know, there are a few things. That you could tell he's been working on and stuff like that, like his how he looks, how he carries himself. The crowd is behind him. QT is a great role player. You can hear him talking to him about certain things. Be here, be here, be here. Get up, get up, get up, get up. But that's just something usually the naked eye won't see or the untrained eye won't see. So QT does a great job as a role player as well. He taps to the Taz mission. Hook leaves. Everybody likes it. Final match on the pre-show was Malachi Black, Buddy Matthews, and Brody King versus Pac, Pentagon Obscuro, and Eric Redbeard. I think that's his name. Yeah, Redbeard. Alex looks like the manager for Pentagon, he looks like he is fresh to death in that Party City getup he has. And I understand it's trying to be serious, but man, he doesn't need all of that stuff. I think it's funny. I like Alex. One of the first things that I noticed out of between all 6 of the men in the match, they all wore black. Now, pun intended. Now, it might be a reason why the House of Black, Malachi Black. It could be a reason why Obscuro means dark. But I was like, man, they all look like they're on the same team. Like, can you imagine? I remember one time the Chicago Bulls, they had the limited edition green jerseys and they went against the Boston Celtics. And I'm just like, I know how some people look, but I'd be confused passing it to the wrong person. Now, with them tagging and stuff like that, it was just like, oh my God, all of these guys are wearing black. Now, if Pop and Malachi were the same size, they look just alike because they have the same trunks, the boots or kick pads, whatever, and the haircut with, you know, bald on the side. So they kind of look alike. Other than that, it was some solid action, and then there was also some slow-paced action, and then you could tell when some people got lost. You can say, you could hear them talking and saying stuff to each other, oh, I'm supposed to tag, or what are we waiting on? It was a little confusing, but they wrapped it up with Eric Redbeard getting pinned by Brody King after the after the power slam. Going into the main show, we start off with Jericho versus Kingston. Good back and forth. Jericho looks amazing. King being King, he had everybody behind him before the bell even rung. I liked how they were playing on Kingston being nervous and can't be able to beat the big guys, can't beat the big one, because if you look at his track record, he lost to Miro for the TNT title. He also, he lost to Moxley when Moxley had the title. He who else he lose to? He had when him and Moxley were tagging against the Young Bucks. for their titles. He lost as well, and then when he went against CM Punk, he also lost. So his track record on main shows, they aren't that great. Now on Dark, he's solid, but on the main shows, he's not. So it's a good way to play on it. I believe the right person won. Jericho was doing what he was doing in WWE. He was putting over guys. You know, I don't want to talk about age and stuff like that because I know that Kingston has been in this game for a long time. I forgot the name of his finisher. Please forgive me because I definitely enjoyed what he did. Jericho did not shake his hand at the end of the match. The only thing I really didn't like was how they were interacting with Aubrey. It's not Aubrey's fault. All right, Chris Jericho pushed her. Okay, I can understand that. And then she pushed him, but he really didn't move. It looked awkward. And then even like a few seconds later, she's like hugging Kingston because Kingston wants a hug. And I was just like, okay, that's too much. When Kingston won, he asked, did I win? You know, those are the kind of small things that get people excited and stuff like that and be happy for somebody. It's a good match. So we'll see what they do with that. I don't think they're done. Second match is is it the ladder match? I think it is the ladder match. No, it's the tag match. I'm sorry. Tag match. Triple threat tag match. Jurassic Express versus Red Dragon versus the Young Bucks for the AEW tag team titles. Solid action. If you are a Young Bucks fan, you enjoyed it. If you're not, you probably went to the bathroom. I watched it. It was pretty good. They beat up Jungle Boy. Crowd's already behind Jurassic Express. But they were just showing like how resilient he is. And that's like the thing about working as like a good underdog is that like people want to pull for you. Can you do this and can you do that? I think they did a great job with isolating Luchasaurus when they could. Like almost every time they did a move to Jungle Boy, they kick Luchasaurus or they do a dive out on him or they kick him out. That's one thing that I did like because he was the bigger guy. So you try to keep the bigger guy at bay. Then he had some moves. A lot of people had moves. A lot of people had exchanges and stuff like that. But at the end, Jurassic Express stood tall. They are still defending and reigning champs. Third match was my favorite match, Face of the Revolution match. I had Wardlow or Keith Lee or Hobbs or Starks winning. Wardlow won. I enjoyed the match. I love the match, actually. I thought it was pretty good. Everybody has strong points in it, and that's always important with some matches. You know, even Orange Cassidy. At first, I was just like, man, he really does need to be in here, but he pays his way with the moves he takes and with some of the things that he does. Even the pull up from the ladder and to try to get the brass ring, and he stood up on top, but then he fell between the rungs and hurt himself. This was after the spot I hate when people spin around airplane style with the ladder and people walk into it instead of acting like they don't see it, like they're like really like double dutching it and stuff. Heck, even one spot Ricky pushed Willie out the way and Rick got hit and then Willie still walked into it like a dummy. Not calling him a dummy, no offense, my good man. But yeah, I don't like those kind of spots like that because they gotta look like you're walking into it, not just running into it just to say you're running into it. Everybody had some good spots. There was some times where you saw the big men sizing each other up, swinging on each other. Those are the kind of things I like because now it would be like, okay, ooh, this match will be crazy in the future. This was going to be dope. Wardlow won. That was pretty good. TBS Women's title, Jade Cargill, champion versus Ty Conti. Now, when Ty Conti was coming out and Jade and Negative One accompanied her, I thought two things. Either she's going to win or Anna Jay's going to screw her out the title. Now, going into the finish, I cannot tell you what happened. All I know is Jade won. Only because my Chromecast and Bleacher Report really was messing up. They was really messing up. They really started acting like the Peacock app. It was kind of messed up. But other than that, from what I saw, both women were impressive. They did good things. I love Jade's frog splash. I thought it was a lot better than what Sasha tries to do as a frog splash. I love Sasha Banks. I hate her frog splashes. Ty Conti with the expressions on how she does things. It was pretty good. People love her. They saw the signs. They were going crazy for her and everything like that. I had Jade winning. because I feel like they're just going to contribute to her dominance. I also like the fact that she dressed up as Jade from Mortal Kombat. And then I also like the fact because Jade wears green and people call her green and she says green is the color of money. And I like how she control and also like market that like I am green. For you guys and gals who don't know what green is in the wrestling business, that means that they're still new, they still have a lot to learn, or they're still learning and sometimes they're just not as solid, or maybe they just need more time. A lot of people say giving her time. She admits that. I don't like she admits it, but she makes it work for her. She's a superstar, and I'm curious to see what else is going to happen. Next match is the dog collar match between MJF and CM Punk. CM Punk comes out to his ROH theme. He has the shorts. A lot of people went crazy for that on social media. MJF came out to Cult of Personality. It was back and forth with the dog chain till they both got busted open. We were waiting. Good back and forth. I love when MJF grabbed the mic and was talking to people. And he, it was very entertaining. The finish saw CM Punk hit MJF with the go to sleep. He falls into the tags. No. Before that, I want to back up. Punk was down after taking the superplex from MJF. Wardlow comes out like a bag of money, as he should, because he has a TNT title opportunity. MJF is asking him for the ring, and he can't find it. CM Punk gives him a GTS. MJF falls on the tax. Then he looks at Wardlow, and Wardlow like, oh, it's in my other pocket. Gold. That was gold for me. Then he just puts the ring down and walks away. Crowd gives the man a standing ovation. That's how you build stuff. That's how you build tension. And I think they did a good job. What is MJF going to say when he comes out on Dynamite or Rampage? Is he going to say anything? How is he going to step to Wardlow? He slapped him before, so... CM Punk gets the ring after getting spat on and then pins MJF. Now, I thought it was funny that after he hit him, he didn't just pin him quickly, like he just looked at him. That was very, very funny. Very entertaining match. Next match is either the women's match for the women's title, or was it Daniel... No. Okay, I believe it was Thunder Rosa versus Britt Baker. Now, if I'm not in order, I'm sorry. Please correct me. I forgot about this match because I felt like I forgot a lot of matches. So anyway, I watched the match. I thought it was okay. I was expecting something a little better. The title looks better. It looks a lot better. I didn't like their other title. It was like too small. I just didn't like it. Ironically, their title, the new women's title, it looks like my C3 Wrestling Championship title, which was taken from an older title. And I thought it was pretty good. I know a lot of people went online and said it looks like the Gift of the Gods Championship, but no, it was from an old Midwest title, North American title. It was very good. But as far as the wrestling goes, they were showing how resilient Thunder Rosa was, getting hit with almost everything and then overcoming it. And then it was to the point I was like, oh, she might win this. Because I feel like Britt Baker's reign has been like a little on the decline. Haven't like seen much of it, just a lot of promos, a lot of interfering and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, well maybe they're going to give it to Thunder Rosa. They didn't. There was a lot of interference. It was consistent interference. Curb stomp. I think it was like, I think Thunder took like 2-3 curb stomps. But that's what that was. And that was the end of that. Britt Baker wins with a curb stomp. Also, around this time, Shane Swerve Strickland debuts and the crowd goes crazy. Whose house? Swerve house. Congrats to him. Another match was Bryan Danielson versus Jon Moxley. Now, we knew from the jump that blood was going to be involved because they already talked about it. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. Before even looking at this match, I was like, I don't want them to tag. I don't want a makeshift tag to, WWE does that a lot. They want a makeshift tag team to go after the title because 9 times out of 10 they're going to win the titles. I didn't want that. Like, we already had it with Eddie Kingston and him, and I know that like they had a background and stuff like that, but I just didn't want that. It was like they beat the heck out of each other, then all of a sudden they were going for tag titles. So with that being said, my mind changed at the end of the match. Despite the fact that these guys were beating the heck out of each other with wrestling and striking and everything that we knew that these two were going to do. At the end, Brian tried to put him in a move, and Moxley moved up and turned it into a roll-up to the 1, 2, 3. And then after that, they started fighting each other again. They started fighting. I was like, oh my God, we're about to watch another match. They're going to have another match. I don't want to see it. All of a sudden, William Regal pulls up, right? And besides me thinking he's going to say War Games, even though he don't wrestle for the company no more, that man wear that same suit. And hey, man, shoot, that's the business suit, man. That man wear that suit a lot. But anyway, he goes in there. He makes him stop because both of them look up to him. So then Moxley tries to walk past him. He slaps him and headbutts him and got blood, Moxley's blood on his forehead. Brian is laughing. He turns around, slaps Brian. I'm like, oh my God, this is interesting now. And makes them both shake hands. Crowd went crazy. Let me tell you, William Regal is one of the first guys I did not like when I used to watch WCW. That was when he was Lord Regal. That was when he was Steven Regal. See, a lot of y'all think he was just William. Nah, I remember Steven Regal when they called him that. And then I grew to love him as I became a wrestler. And then I liked matches that he was keeping up. Like when he went against Cassius Ohno, also known as Chris Hero, or Cesaro and stuff like that. I enjoyed his matches or what he did with Daniel Bryan. But I enjoyed his match. I thought his matches were very, very good. There's something to think about. So I'm curious to see where they go with this. William Regal is all elite. Now I'm happy to see William Regal. Next match is the the trios match that really did need to happen. Not to be rude, but it definitely did need to happen. Sting, Darby, and Sammy versus Andrade, Matt Hardy, and Isaiah Cassidy from Private Party. It was a match. Just a lot of spots that we knew what was going to happen. I liked Andrade. I thought he was the most impressive person out of the whole match because of the strength he was using. Also, some of the moves that he was doing. And it's just, I thought he was more impressive. The most impressive. Sammy Guevara, he does a Spanish fly to Isaiah off the top of the Titantron, the entrance. And he does this, and I guess that's something him and his boo do. And I'm like, man, y'all taking a long time to do it. Now, it's a scary spot, but man, he was out for the rest of the match. Then they set up tables. I ain't even gonna lie, when I saw those tables being set up by their entrance, I thought like Jeff Hardy might have was gonna come out or something because of everything else that they've been doing. I truly thought Jeff Hardy was coming. I thought he was gonna swanton somebody, but no, it didn't. So while they were getting jumped by everybody else that's in Hardy's group, the Butcher and the Blade and everything like that, eventually they go out and they leave or whatever, and Andrade and Darby, they're fighting, and then all of a sudden Darby and Andrade hit each other. Darby falls, Andrade falls on the table. Now, at first they were teasing that Matt was going to give Sting this side effect. But then Sting actually jumped and went through the table with Andrade. Now, Sting is old, and I'm scared Sting is going to turn into Nesquik, into dust. Like, even some of the moves that he was taking, like he took like a drop kick and he fell wrong, and then like he was supposed to get hit with the, they were trying to hit him on the apron, and then like he felt awkward, and I was just like, bro, man, you might need to hang it up. But I do love Sting, you know, I want everybody to know that, but I'm like, man, you don't need to be doing this crazy stuff. The end of the match saw Darby hit the not coffin drop because the coffin fist because he really didn't hit Matt except his hand. I don't know what happened. It looked like Matt was trying to move. I don't know, but he really didn't hit the man. But crowd loved it anyway, and the crowd loved when Sammy and Darby pulled up Sting. Maybe they thought that Sting wasn't gonna walk again because of that big spot he did. What it is, what it is. Main event: Hangman Adam Page versus Adam Cole for the AEW Championship, Heavyweight Championship, World Championship, whatever it is. Very good back and forth. I didn't watch Full Gear, so I didn't see Hangman versus Omega. But I thought this match was pretty good with the interference. You know, interference is kind of the thing in the show, the whole show in general. I thought it was a solid match. I also liked how Adam Page was smart. Like, it was a spot where Adam Cole, so many Adams, Cole was going to hit him with his knee, and then he just dropped to the ground like that. Like, small stuff like that I like. And then I know that the commentators were speaking about it as well, but I thought that was pretty dope to see, like, to be smart and stuff like that. There was a lot of trades. There was a lot of Panama Sunrises. There was a lot of super kicks. You know how I feel about those super kicks. But I think they did what they were supposed to do. The crowd loved Adam Page. They really loved Cole because they were Cole's home state. I thought it was pretty good. I'm curious to see what they're going to do with Page because of the new signings and whatever else they're going to do. I'm hearing some people are booing him on other TV shows. I don't know. I kind of like Page. I mean, the thing with Page is I know that, like, I don't know much of his story, but I know he wasn't like the leader of the groups that he was in. But it is good to have somebody fresh and new. You know, a lot of people are critical on his run because all these other people who just got signed, and they might shorten his title reign, but who knows. All in all, I enjoyed the show. I thought it was pretty. I thought it was good. It was some things I didn't like, some things I liked or whatever like that. We'll see where it goes here from another show. Yeah, that's how I felt. This is Chris Classic. Let's take it home.